Good morning, grade fours. Today's science lesson will be on life cycles of living things. Who knows what a life cycle is? That's correct. A life cycle is the stages the living thing goes through during its life. Let's take the frog for example. Frogs have a 4 main stage life cycle until it fully forms into a frog. Let's have a look at the 4 stages of a frog's life cycle. Stage 1. A frog begins life as a fertilized egg. A female frog lays a lot of eggs at one time in a pond. The eggs float on water in a jelly mass or cluster. Stage 2. When the egg hatches, it becomes a tadpole. At this point of the cycle, the tadpole looks more like a fish than a frog. It has external gills which allow it to breathe underwater. The tadpole swims, eats plants and algae from the water. During this time, the tadpole starts to develop lungs which allow it to breathe out of the water when it becomes a frog. The tadpole also grows 2 hind legs. This allows the tadpole to leap around instead of only swimming. Stage 3. The tadpole grows 2 front legs and its tail starts to shrink. The tadpole uses the nutrients stored in its tail as food. Therefore, it does not need anything else to eat until the tail is completely gone. At this stage, the tadpole becomes a froglet. Stage 4. When the froglet's tail disappears completely, it becomes an adult frog. It starts to eat insects instead of plants from the water. It may take 2 to 4 years for a froglet to become an adult frog. The adult frog then lays eggs and more tadpoles hatch and begin the life cycle again. Okay students, now let's recap on the life cycle of a frog. Stage 1. The frog is a fertilized egg. Stage 2. The egg hatches and becomes a tadpole. The tadpole develops external gills and grows 2 hind legs. Stage 3. The tadpole becomes a froglet when it grows 2 front legs and the tail starts to shrink. Stage 4. After the froglet's tail disappears completely, it becomes an adult frog. The adult frog then lays eggs and more tadpoles hatch and begin the cycle again. Now students, I want you to get into groups of 4 and identify the stage in the life cycle of the frog in these acrylics. Now that we have covered the life cycle of a frog, I want you all to pick a living thing and research its life cycle.